It's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge to benefit the Bahamas Disaster Relief Fund. Sunday, December 1st, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. AMF Panorama Lanes, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica. Come have fun and enjoy a few games of bowling for a good cause. There will be prizes, food and drink specials, and some special challenges mixed in along the way. $20 per bowler or $100 per team includes 2 games and shoe rental. All proceeds go directly to the Bahamas Relief Foundation. That's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge, presented by Disruption Network, Holy Pozzoli, and AMF Panorama Lanes. Sunday, December 1st, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broken everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.
Good afternoon, everybody. Wow, we are on the 10th episode of Leveling Up. I still can't figure out what camera to look at, so hopefully we're looking at the right one. But thank you so much for joining us today. This is the Leveling Up podcast in partnership with the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. I am your host, Megan McGrogan, and we are so excited. Again, it's the 10th episode. I can't believe how quickly that's gone by. So if you've joined us for a previous show, thank you very much for watching. And if you're joining us for the first time, make sure you go onto greateruticachamber.org or disruptionnetwork.net to check out all of our previous episodes. We have a lot of great ones in there, including our last episode with Steve McMurray from WKTV, where we announced our Business of the Year finalists. So we're super excited about our Business of the Year event coming up on December 12th. So go ahead and check out that last episode where we announce all of our 15 finalists, some great companies, including Disruption Network, are being recognized. So just want to do a couple shout outs to the Disruption Network sponsors, Nye Volkswagen of Rome, Utica Coffee Roasting Company, and Saranac. And of course, our chamber supporters who support the Chamber of Commerce all year long, Gilroy, Kernan and Gilroy, MVHS, and Advanced Media New York. So a couple of things that have been going on since our last show. It's been a couple quick weeks, I feel like. So we've had a couple ribbon cuttings that have happened. Again, I mentioned our last episode with Steve McMurray. We actually launched a new website for the Chamber. So again, you can find out all of the podcast episodes on there. And it's actually pretty front and center. So you'll notice it in a couple spots. Great new interactive website where we're hoping to bring you a lot of great content. So go ahead and check that out if you have a free minute. I also was telling Z before the show, I had the honor and privilege of being on Joe Kelly's show on WUTR. So we taped that and it will be airing shortly. So as soon as we have that link, I believe it's going to air this Sunday. So we will definitely share that with you guys on the next episode, hopefully, of Leveling Up. That was so much fun. Joe Kelly is a staple in our community and really, like I said, such an honor to have been a guest on his show. And hopefully we'll get him on the podcast too. So a couple other things. I participated in Cycle Nation, which is a brand new event. If you guys checked out our episode with Pam Musty from the American Heart Association, I believe that was episode 4 or 5. But Pam works for the American Heart Association and is also on our board. And she put on this great first-time event with the rest of her colleagues at the American Heart Association. It was called Cycle Nation. So you can see Gary Phillipson and our instructor up there, and then I'm all the way on the right. It was such a great event. I was a celebrity rider, and basically the event was teams of 4, and it's a 2-hour-long spin class. But then each team member does a half hour of the class, and there's a different instructor and different celebrity riders each half hour. Thank God I didn't have to do the whole thing, because man, was it a workout. But of course, all to raise money for the Heart Association, and another really fun event that just gets a different audience in. You know, they do the America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk coming up in March. So this is another way to engage the community, hosted at Thrive Athletic Center, which is beautiful if you haven't been up there. So a lot of fun at that event. I also, Gary Phillipson is a longtime family friend of the Frasers. My family owned a sports sale business for many years, and my Uncle Rich still operates it. And so Gary Phillipson has been a business contact of theirs for many years, so it was really cool to be up there with Gary. Of course, Gary is a stroke survivor himself, so that was pretty cool to be up there with him. So big shout out to Gary, love the Phillipsons and love their family, so it was really cool for me to be able to do that with him. We also celebrated a milestone ribbon cutting celebration for New York Sash. They celebrated their 30th anniversary, which is so hard to believe. Wow. So Scott and Jill are front and center there, and they have a great business in Whitesboro. Scott and Jill do so much for the community. The teddy bear toss, everybody knows about the teddy bear toss. That's one of their big things that they do, and they've reached really crazy milestones with giving to the community as well. In addition to celebrating their 30th anniversary recently. So congratulations to Scott and Jill and all of the staff there. Of course, Katie Riley on the right, super involved with Made in Utica. She also was on our Catalyst group for a long time. So they're very involved with the chamber and the community. So congrats to everybody over there. And then last night, we had a great ribbon cutting at RCIL. So they had another downtown location, but just recently relocated to the former Boston store, which is awesome. That's a great transition and move for them. Really, I would say the cornerstone of downtown Utica is really the Boston store and where that is located. So they have 200 jobs there. They've added 10 full-time positions since the move, and they plan on adding 20 total. So they're going to double that really soon. So awesome to hear. And the parking garage is open. So one of Svia's comments last night was an apology to the businesses downtown because all of their staff have been parking all over. But the parking garage is now open. So they really are appreciative that everybody's been so accommodating. Great move for them. And then, of course, we have to talk about the great announcement. Governor Cuomo visited Utica yesterday. Awesome. We were awarded $10 million for the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. So this is $10 million that's going to be injected right into downtown Utica.
So cool.
All the people in this picture, including the mayor and his staff, Alicia Dix and her staff from the Community Foundation, worked tirelessly to get this grant submitted for this award. So we are just so proud to be receiving that, and it is a great day. If anybody's friends with me on Facebook, I said every day is a good day to be a Utican, but some days are better than others. Yeah. And yesterday was one of those days. So just kudos to everybody who worked so hard to get that grant approved, and thank you to Governor Cuomo for that award. I know it will be put to good use and will be much, much further. The $10 million is going to go a lot further than just the $10 million. I know it's going to be a great catalyst for downtown, so very excited about that. Okay, Z, are you ready?
Oh, no.
Are you ready? So now we're going to get into my guest.
I'm so excited right now.
He's been screaming like a schoolgirl. Literally screaming like a schoolgirl. So Anthony Z. Donaldson, mostly everybody knows him as Z, is my guest today. Let's see. I asked him what his title was here. He said I won't say what he actually said. We'll abbreviate it to he's the man. The man here at Disruption Network.
Yeah, I curse a lot.
So Z, welcome. It is so cool to have you on. Let's see. There we go. Hey, there we are. So cool to have you on. And I said in my post,
five?
Yeah, we got a high five. We're not drinking beer, okay?
No,
We're drinking coffee today. That's okay. We've drank many of those throughout the years. I said in my post that I've known you at least since 2007, because that's when I started my big girl job at the brewery, but probably before that, because I was a tour guide for 4 years. Of course, I never was an underage patron of the electric company, ever. That's a true story.
Probably one of the few.
I was one of the few. But I'm sure I ran into you at Saranac Thursdays and other things at the brewery before that. So really, officially 2007, but many, many years.
Yeah.
So, and look at where we are now. This is so wild.
I know, and the other thing, too, is our birthdays are a day apart from each other.
They are.
So it's always like hey, Meg, happy birthday. Hey, Z, happy birthday,
Exactly.
So and it's good to be here, so thank you.
I'm just so excited. And I teased on my post that we've had many UCs. You were usually on the other side of the bar, so likely somewhat more sober than me.
Not really.
So I'm like, maybe you're going to put me in the hot seat today.
Not really.
But,
no, this is all you.
Yeah, so...
I'm just riding shotgun today.
Yeah. And usually Z is on the other side of the camera, so Todd is back there today running the show.
And that's why it looks nice today, and it's not all screwed up, and there's no technical difficulties. Because Todd's running shit.
Yeah, usually Z, the joke at the beginning about looking at the wrong camera, that's always his fault.
Right, yeah, it all starts with me. I gotta ask you, how do you associate me with the number 10? Because this is your 10th episode.
Because it's a milestone episode. You got it started, so we've got to have you on for the 10th episode.
All right, because I'm a numbers guy, and lately I've been getting really into numbers.
Oh.
Yeah, and now I'm thinking 10 might be another number I should start traveling down.
Maybe it's your number.
I don't know.
Really, it was just because, it's a 10th episode, which I consider that pretty awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we started this, when did we start it? In June?
10 episodes ago.
Well, definitely 10 episodes ago. But I want to say it was, I don't know, May or June? I think it was June.
I think it was June.
Yeah, because we had our third episode our fourth episode of the cookout, I think. So, and that was July. So, but anyway, yeah, milestone for me in the show. So, had to have a extra special guest on.
Awesome.
So that's why.
And we're delighted to have you, Meg.
Yeah,
this has been great.
So let's talk about you. We'll get into the Disruption Network, but I really want to talk about you because we have to put you in the hot seat.
Yep.
So, when did you go back to Z? Way back in the heyday, I should say, before electric company. What did you do before all that? And then let's get into the EC a little bit too, because I know.
How far back do you want me to go?
Well, I don't know. What's the important start of Z? I guess.
Well.
Why are you called Z?
Okay, why am I called Z? Well, we'll tell the G-rated story. Maybe it's just a nickname that stuck.
Okay.
It was what happened to that. I was looking for a handle. Okay, so my backstory a little bit. I did radio, worked at K-Rock. Actually, interned at the old Rock 107.
Yeah,
if you remember Rock 107, I was an intern over there with Keeler and then Brad Davies. And in fact, Brad Davies is what got my start into radio. And we DJ'd weddings and did a bunch of events and stuff like that. Had a lot of fun with that. I switched over from K-Rock. It was the same company. And the night I was getting trained in how to run the board and stuff, it was kind of weird. We had a bunch of my friends come out and hang out in the studio, and we ended up going to the old Captain Chips, and we were just hanging out, and just the name got stuck that night. I won't get into the incident because I know you have a PG-rated show here, Meg. But that's how it got stuck. And everyone's like, "You're Z from now on, dude. You're Z," and I've been Z ever since.
Okay.
I can't shake it.
You can tell me the X-rated version after the show.
We'll do that off camera, for sure. We'll do that off camera.
So you were working at K-Rock. What else did you do prior to the EC life? Well, I only say that because that's when I met you. So
Right. So working at K-Rock, I did a bunch of odds and end jobs, delivered food, and worked in grocery stores and nursing homes, and but I also worked at WER for a while. I was a disc jockey after my K-Rock years, and when they were starting to go a little corporate, because they were, when I first joined with the Day Media, it was a little more local, but then they switched over to Clear Channels, and I really don't confine the corporate way of thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me.
Yeah.
So I bounced from there and did some odds and end jobs, and then right around 2001, I was painting Victoria's Secrets. Yes, I was painting Victoria's Secrets in that strawberry quick pink. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
pink,
about.
the whole walls. I was covered in pink.
Oh, my God.
I was painting Victoria's Secrets all across the country, really. As far as Michigan and out there. In fact, 9/11, we were in Albany.
Wow.
When 9/11 hit. doing that. But anyways, the guy I was working with owned a bar at the time too called the Cripple Creek, and his name was Brian Dewey. And Dewey and I had the motions to get the EC rolling. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a liquor license for many different reasons. But anyways, I grabbed Laura. Roberto was my partner at the EC, and I'm like, hey, I can't get a liquor license, but can you help me? And she did, and we opened up the EC in October of 2002. And
wow.
And if you remember too, like Varick Street wasn't what Varick Street is today.
No,
it was just, there was O'Donnell's in the Varick.
Yeah.
There was no Sickenburger, there's no Harp, there's no Nail Creek. In
Yep.
fact, a lot of those places that I mentioned were crack houses.
I know. Hey, I was a tour
Seriously.
guide. I remember.
Do you remember that?
I was telling somebody the other day, we were talking about the Harp and we were talking about Reynolds. I love that building. Somebody's got to buy that building and just like cool with it.
Yeah.
But really from Reynolds all the way to the Knights of Columbus building, there were, 3-4 houses there where the Harp currently is. Remember like the old billboards that were painted?
I do.
I mean, they were really cool houses, but yeah,
They were
kind of a
run down.
rough neighborhood,
Yeah,
you know?
they were run down.
You would probably not feel too safe walking all the way. Like now you can walk down Varick Street and there's a lot of restaurants and establishments, but at the time there wasn't, like you said, there wasn't anything there that was, I mean, a totally different look, feel, probably different safety scenario than there is now.
And people told me too, oh, you're crazy opening up a bar in Utica, blah, 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 blah. And, oh, there's nothing going on Varick Street. And we pretty much put a boost in its ass, you know, and kind of gave it some culture that it really needed.
Yeah.
And then now Varick Street is what it is, man. And it's really cool. I like to think the EC had a lot to do with the growth for sure.
Yeah.
But many, many great times. You bring up Reynolds Hardware.
Yeah.
That would be such a great little convenience store.
It would,
like where you could sell like 40s and cigarettes and condoms and maybe, well, I'm serious, and sandwiches.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, there's nothing like
that would be
down
such
there.
a great little spot.
Yeah.
There's no real like little grocery store
you're
bodega
right.
type of thing, like a deli like they have in New York City or something like that.
You
That would be the
stop
perfect
in
spot.
and grab-
There's your $1 million idea.
Yeah.
Which camera do we look at? That one right there? $1 million idea. I don't even know.
I love that building. I think somebody's got to buy it and do something with it. But yeah, so you were open at the EC for how many years?
So we opened up on Halloween 2002.
Right, okay.
Which was a crazy night. And then we closed in May of 2012. So just under 10 years.
I have a picture of that day.
Do you? You have a picture of that?
I do have a picture of that day.
It's
the group photo with my mom.
Oh my God.
I dragged my mom to the farewell party. I don't even remember why, but we were out doing something, and I'm like, Mom, I have to go. I have to go to the electric company. She was like, I'll go with you.
Oh my God.
I think she went home and I stayed, but we definitely stopped down for. I mean, look at those bangs I had.
I love your mom, by the way. So I give a big shout out to Sue. She's awesome.
I mean, look at how we both look. A lot. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
No, actually, I know how wasted I am in that picture just by looking at it. And that's called I am in a blackout right now.
I think I was at the point where I was young enough where you couldn't tell that I had probably had a couple, right?
So that picture right there will define probably a good 18 years of my life as my blackout years, as I like to refer to them as.
Geez.
So, oh my God.
That's a pretty
Very
good one.
heavy in that picture, too. I'm probably well over 200 pounds in that picture. And
No.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I think,
I'm down to 175 now.
Really?
Killing
Well,
it.
you look good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can't tell in that picture, but
Oh yeah, it's bad.
yeah, so that was a
I
fun
can tell.
day.
I
But
can see it in my cheeks and.
yeah. But fun but sad. I feel like, so just talk a little bit about, and then I know we're going to get into some other stuff, but I mean, you guys.
We got all day. I'm in charge here today.
That's right.
That's fine.
That's right.
Yeah,
So we could go well over an hour. You guys have nothing. You guys have no plans, right? Next 3 hours. Then we would really have to get out the beer, though.
Yeah, right. Seriously, and to go pee.
Yeah, right. So talk a little bit about. We mentioned the EC being a little bit of a catalyst of what went on there. Just talk a little about Utica Music Fest. You guys used to host so many great musicians.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that kind of segues into some other stuff that you've been involved with. So talk about the musicians and all that used to happen at EC, because I feel like that was the place to go and listen to unique and awesome bands and just really great music, and it was always the place to go.
It's what I pride myself in pretty much, was booking that place and trying to mix it up for all different genres, because not everybody likes the same music.
Yeah.
And at first it was, I tried to keep it like at first to be like more of a jammier type band place, but I had to switch it up because not everybody likes the same music, like I said. So we opened it up to rock and stuff. But I mean, we've had Grammy Award winning artists in there to like Rock and Roll Hall of Famers in that place for many, many years. And I mean, the guys from Mo would stop in all the time. And we had a lot of great stuff. Dudes from Galactic and just a lot. Michael Glebicki would just come hang out from Rusted Root, just like hang out because it was like a Thursday.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, like cool stuff would happen all the time.
Yeah,
Five Finger Death Punch hung out at the EC. Like all these great bands, it just would. If they were in Utica, they'd come to the EC. It was the thing to do. So. And which was great, you know. It humbled me too that a lot of those guys would still come in, and it's cool that we left such an impact because still to this day, when I go out, I constantly hear, "I miss the EC."
Yeah, I miss it,
and it's cool. It is. My reply to them all the time is like, "Well, I don't."
Yeah, oh, I know. I mean, it's. I can't imagine how exhausting it was, like being in that. You can only do that life for so long,
well,
right?
It's a bar too, you know, and like I have my vices, you know, and sometimes my vices get the best of me, and don't make faces at me. And sometimes my vices get the best of me, and owning a bar really, really.
Oh yeah, I mean you're in it. You know, not even. I probably experienced
pull up the picture and show you.
But I mean, like, even in the beer industry, I mean, I probably experienced like a way fraction of that. But you get, I mean, you're out like every night. You have to entertain somebody, you have to be out. So it's like a fraction of it. But I mean, Damon, all these guys, you're out all the time. And it does kind of get to you after a while.
Shout out Damon Call.
Yeah, we love Damon.
He never watches us.
Yeah, I know. Damon, we could talk about you for the next like 20 minutes and he would have no clue.
He's not even on the internet.
He doesn't even have Facebook.
He's got a flip phone.
But yeah, I mean, so many fun times, especially in the little, how many times did I annoy you? Like in the back office, like talking to the bands.
And
like
it continues to this day.
Now you're stuck with me in a whole nother scenario,
I love this so bad.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, we're so happy to have you a part of our team. Yeah. And like we've had so many great times together in the past, but like what we've created in the future too is just, it's been amazing. So give me some knuckles.
I love it. I love it. So talk a little bit about, let's segue from the music side of EC to the other stuff that you're doing. So you've worked with Chuck and Stacy for many years. So talk a little bit about that and like the stuff you're doing at the Stanley, because I think all that's really cool.
For sure. Thank you. Creative concerts, that's my creative concert family. I love them to death. Chuck Cheo is like my... And we like to call him the old dirty promoter, the ODP, you know, but I call him... Like,
I would confirm, right? I mean, I love you, Chuck, but I think it's a pretty appropriate nickname,
I'm pretty sure he said some off-colored stuff to you in the past. Anyhow... but
that was like, I miss that so much. Like, I miss hanging out with you guys and like that type of, you know, going out and having fun and being at all the different events and stuff, the concerts and stuff. So
so creative concerts have been, well, Chuck's been around for 40 plus years. He's been doing concerts since the 70s.
Yeah.
And every show at the Utica Odd back in the 80s, that was a Chuck Cheo show, pretty much, more than likely, you know. And when I opened up the EC, you know, I had a little bit of a relationship prior to it, but we became really tight when the EC came in, and Stacy and Stacy's, you know, she's my sister, and she booked some great stuff too. So we have what we call our pirate crew, and that's our production crew. And you can follow us on Instagram. We have a pirate crew.
Oh, you do?
Oh,
I gotta follow you guys.
Where we're, you know, we work backstage. We do backstage production and set up for concerts and major stuff, and we do 14 days in a row at the New York State Fair.
Yeah, which, by the way, I'm still mad about the Grace Potter little meeting that you had.
She's super sweet.
So jealous.
She's super awesome. I love Grace Potter.
Yeah, Grace Potter she's awesome.
She's
I've
the
had
best
a girl
woman in rock and roll.
She is.
Hands down, Grace Potter.
Ask Ryan. It's a well-known girl crush that I have had on her forever.
Yeah. Right, seriously.
Forever. I love her. She is one badass chick.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could be her. In my next life, I'm coming back as a rock and roll version of, actually, the rock and roll version of Grace Potter.
She kills it.
She does country stuff, too.
She does everything.
She's my perfect mix. That's what I would be.
She's everything. She really is. I love you, Grace.
Yeah. She's never going to watch this either. Grace Potter and Damon Call are never going to watch this episode.
She's been mentioned a few times on the D, actually, Grace Potter.
I know,
That's awesome.
So anyway, back to the State Fair.
See, I told you all the left turns and right turns we're going to be taking today. Yeah. So she's like, you think we're going to be able to do an hour? I'm like, we'll probably do 2.
Yeah, right?
Yes, the State Fair. So we do production at the State Fair,
Yeah.
and we do all the shows at Saranac Brewery.
Now-
and not to get confused, people get confused with Saranac Thursday, but not Saranac Thursday, the Saranac concert series.
The concerts that are outside of.
That are outside, and it was shit. We had like Flaming Lips this year, and Les Claypool, and Get the Lead Out, and it just the list goes on and on.
Awesome shows. But wait, back to the State Fair. So you guys do Chevy Court and
the Experience Stage.
Okay.
Which is 2 years in existence now, or 2 or 3 years, which they built this nice, cool little stage. Pretty much where the grandstand used to be.
Okay.
And where it used to be, and now they put like an RV park, and there's a pond, and there's like a little walkway, and
that's really cool.
And so they put, it really is. It's nice. So we do shows there. Like this year, we had like 38 Special, and Rick Springfield, and there's a bunch of other ones.
You guys had great. Even the Chevy Court was
incredible.
Awesome. Yeah.
I gotta say, Meg, like. Working the State Fair, some of the most monumental stuff happens to me working at that State Fair.
Yeah.
Because my job there is I get to pick up the artists at the airport, the private airport, or at Hancock, and I bring them to the show, or bring them to the hotel, or I bring them to wherever they gotta go. I mean, I had freaking lunch with the Vince Neil band this year. Like,
so cool.
I'm sitting there mind blown out of my mind. Like my 14-year-old self is freaking out right now. I'm having lunch with these dudes right now. And they bought me lunch.
We also, wait a minute. We have to take a sidebar, because that was one of your truths or a lie, right? So we did the two truths and a lie.
That wasn't my 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah, but you had lunch with somebody.
Yeah, I did, but it wasn't that one.
Oh, okay. Oh, was it different?
Now you're giving it away.
All right, we'll get to that. We'll get to that before the end of the show.
Lunches.
Yeah, you've had a lot of lunches. But I mean, but that is so cool, and that's one of the things that I always loved about like having the people come to the brewery and my job there. You know, I know you guys like handled all of the bands and everything, but we always would offer a tour. We always would make sure that they were comfortable, et cetera, et cetera. Stacey probably thought I was driving her nuts, but you know, we really tried to make sure that we're being hospitable. And I know, Stacey, listen, I know we have a love-hate relationship, right, Stacey? No, now that's like, that was my early 20s, yeah. But I mean, you know, really, we were just trying to make sure that everybody had a good time, and you know, we wanted them to know they were at a brewery that had a lot of history, right? And so cool to have. I mean, I always loved getting to know the people, because your perception was never what ended up. Like the people you thought would be cool were like maybe a little standoffish, and the people you would think would be standoffish would just be like Michael Franti we took him on a brewery tour. He tried to come out with no shoes on. We're like, dude, you got to put shoes on. We're like a production facility here. But, you know, always so cool to be able to do that. So I'm sure you get just to experience a lot of really neat stuff by doing that and picking them up and bringing them there. And that's
some
so
of the
neat.
most monumental stuff in my life. And you know, the one thing I got to say, a lot of the common denominator with a lot of these artists that I do get to talk to, like, I won't interact with them unless they interact with me first. Because you got to maintain that level of professionalism.
Yeah.
And there's dudes like Ice Cube, they want to be talked to. Ludacris, these guys don't want to be talked to.
Yep.
But there are some of these artists like a Gavin DeGraw where he's like, hey, man, where are you from? Utica. I love Utica. And then flipped out about how much he loves Utica and how he loves the Stanley Theater. Yeah. And how he had the best meal in his life in Utica. And it's the little things like that you remember. And please book me back there again. And
that's awesome.
Like the common denominator is always Utica.
Was that the one at MV? Right? Or
he played at the Stanley. He played at the Stanley with Andy Grammer back a bunch of years ago. And then just recently he was at the State Fair. It was the very last day of the State Fair. And what a cool guy.
Yeah.
That is always the common denominator, like I said, is Utica. Everybody has some sort of story that goes with Utica. They know somebody from Utica. They've been here before. They've had Saranac before, Utica Club, or Greens, or Chicken Riggies, or whatever. Yeah. Utica is always, it's very deeply rooted, you know?
That's so cool. All right, so we talked about Chuck and Stacey. Talk about the Stanley a little bit.
Stanley, I love the Stanley. And let me tell you, big shout out to the girls at the Stanley, Lisa and Linda and Gina and Felicia and everybody down there doing some great stuff. Like, there's this great vibe going on down there, and things are happening, and the calendar is full. And we just had a sold-out night with Styx the other night.
That's
we got a great show coming up with Lettuce on Wednesday, and 2 nights of Mo for New Year's.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be really fun.
Meg, I'm telling you, I'm probably going to cry on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to cry because, you know, not to brag or anything, but I kind of helped facilitate that show.
Yeah.
And bringing it and helping with Chuck and bringing my 2 worlds together. In fact, I'm saying that, like, my worlds are colliding.
Yeah.
Because I'm bringing in my creative concert family with my Stanley family, which is a marriage that should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
That should have happened a long time ago. But it's finally happening, and thank God. And I think on New Year's I might break down and just overjoyed. I'm serious. I'm super excited.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
awesome.
Mo to us, they're family.
Yeah, 100%.
And they're our home team.
Oh,
They're
wait a
our-
minute.
Yeah, go
You're
ahead.
saying Mo? I forgot a picture.
You got a picture?
You remember this day?
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Speaking of Mo, so I don't know who, those are Fred's feet in there. You can't mistake Fred's chinos and his sneakers there. But I'm trying to, and maybe it was me, you, Fred, and Damon. I'm trying to think who the fourth sake bomb was for. But speaking of Mo, so the brewery was a big sponsor of Modown. We got like wild doing these remember there was like a sake company was the sponsor?
Well, I know exactly where this was from. Cindy Frank and my friend Sarah Whittle.
Yeah,
was,
Sarah
was the representative at the time for them.
Oh boy!
And she was pushing this sake a lot.
Yes.
And sake, what were we mixing it with?
Pale ale.
Pale ale. That's
Yes,
right.
it was pale. We were doing pale ale sake bombs, and it was hilarious. So we ended up doing these, and Fred got because you go 1, 2, 3 sake, and you karate chop the table, and the sake falls into the beer, and then you chug it, for anybody who hasn't done one.
Which was the best part of the whole thing.
It was, and we just had so much fun karate chopping the table that, 1 turned into 2, 2 turned into 3, and then we don't really remember the rest.
That is awesome. I forgot
But I had to
about
put that up there. You're talking about Mo, but we had so much fun at Modown and all those events.
I forgot about that till I just saw that picture.
Yeah.
But that was the fun part about it too. Like those sake bombs were out, and you'd have to go 1, 2, 3 sake, and then the cup would fall off the chopsticks, and you do it. And what did we have, like 14 or 15 of those?
We had a lot, and we're like, oh, it's only a little bit. It's only like a little bit of beer.
Sake.
It's only a little bit of sake. We're like, how bad could it really be? And then we'd walk away, and then Fred'd be like, come on, we got to do more karate chopping. And then we could. Oh, boy, that was a fun time, though. We had a driver. We were safe. We were safe about it. But, yeah, it was a lot of fun at Modown. And so I'm excited for you, too, because I think them coming to the Stanley will be really cool. Plus, we're doing the Bank of Utica New Year's Eve stuff down the street. So people can come down early, grab a beer, go up to the Stanley, and maybe come back down afterwards.
It's just going to make, because Mo is a very transient band.
Yeah.
People travel from far and wide to come see this band. They have legions and legions of fans.
Yes.
Plus, they're local guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Al still lives here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they all grew up, not they all, but most of them, 4/5 of them grew up here in Utica.
Mm-hmm.
And they're local guys. Like, I'm trying to get Rob Palmieri to bring them a key to the city. Like, they should be honored. It's their 30th anniversary as a band. Mm-hmm. They're kicking their 30th anniversary off at the Stanley Theater, at their hometown.
Yeah.
I just put up a video the other day on our IGTV, on the Disruption Network IGTV, of Al talking about all the shows that he's seen at the Stanley.
Yeah.
They grew up there. It's what should happen, and I think that's why I'm going to be so overjoyed.
Yeah,
but it's going to
really
make
cool.
Utica look so cool with all these people coming from out of town to see Mo, to see the party going on in front of the bank. It's going to be epic. Classified's down there. I know Jerry D's down there.
Yeah.
They're going to have a great time right there in downtown. It's going to be like a little mini Times Square.
It'll be
and
great.
then the Mo show.
Yeah.
So, this is going to be epic. It's going to be the most epic New Year's in Utica ever.
It'll be so much fun. And I don't even know, we haven't even really talked about on the show, but so I'm going to be the host with Barry Sinnott outside of the bank.
Nice.
So we're definitely going to be doing like a lot of cross-promoting.
So you're going to be like Maria Shriver? Yeah.
Well, I said Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan, yeah.
Maria Shriver. I don't know. Who hosted it? What females hosted it? I'm trying to think.
Katie Couric or something, maybe?
No, I don't know.
Is
We
she
got to
still around?
come.
I don't know, dude.
We got to go. Jenny McCarthy. There you go.
Yeah,
we're
Jenny
both blonde.
There you
That's
go.
all we have in common. Okay. But no, we're going to have a lot of fun hosting it down there and trying to get people to come down. It is going to be outside. Come on, get a pair of boots and get a coat. Mm-hmm. Walk down to the Stanley. Everybody's like, oh, you're going to do it outside. It's going to be New Year's Eve. It's going to be freezing. Well, it's also November, 13th, 14th, 13th, and it's freezing. So it'll be fine.
Meg, when did we here in Utica and upstate New York get so soft? We live in this weather
I
all year
know.
round. You know it's coming. You know it's going to snow. Why are you still complaining about it? Just suck it up, people. Suck it up. It's going to get cold in November. If
I
you
know.
don't like it, go to Florida for a little while.
Get a hat, get
you
some
know
gloves.
it's going to get cold. Stop complaining about it. That's my PSA for the day.
I agree. I concur. Okay, so let's see. What else are we going to cover here? We got to talk about the Disruption Network. So now walk us through, you close the EC.
Close the EC.
What happens after that, and how do you end up
I'm
here?
still in a blackout.
Yeah. You're unsure how you
Still
ended
in a
up sitting here.
blackout. I hit 40 years old is my turning point, actually.
Wow.
When I'm older than 40, Mike. But when I did hit 40, it was my turning point.
Mm-hmm.
And saw a doctor, and he was like, dude, you got to slow down or chill out.
Yeah.
You need to, if you want to be on Earth again.
Yeah.
if you want to survive.
You want to come down here with the rest of us.
If you want to live, then you better cool out what you're doing. So, I did a whole right turn and did a health switch. And during that whole health switch, I think it just came to me that I've always wanted to do a podcast.
Yeah.
So Rich Masucci, who is a host of All Pucked Up here on the D and Three and Out, him and I started to do this little thing in his garage where we were interviewing local bands.
Yeah.
In his garage.
Which is a perfect fit for you. I mean.
Yeah,
awesome.
Of course. And they're all my buddies anyways. I mean, I'm sometimes known as the crazy uncle of the local music scene. Sometimes.
So if you're the crazy uncle, then what is Chuck Cheo?
Oh, he's the grandfather. He's the bad grandpa.
We can make like a bad Santa video about Chuck.
Oh my God, that is such a great idea.
That's going to be our next commercial.
Stacey, if you're watching this, please get on that. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That's so funny.
So I've always wanted to do a podcast, got up with Masucci. We never really released any of that material, and we interviewed a bunch of bands like Wicked and Dying Breed and Mason's Revolt and a bunch of the great local bands that are here in town. And,
so what'd you do? You just recorded it?
We recorded it and never really put it up because, to be honest with you, no one really had any editing skills. And kind of jumped over. I was doing the UCs with Z with Made in Utica for a minute.
Yeah.
And then split up from them and started this. Started this from that, and it's been 3 years, almost 3 years. It's gonna be 3 years. January 30th is when we launched. January 30th of 2017.
Yeah.
And we're coming up on our 3-year anniversary, and we're gonna have a big party. In February for our 3-year anniversary party, which details will be coming out really soon. I just booked it.
Nice.
And
you don't want to say what
an
it is?
exclusive right now. I will give a little exclusive. All right, just one artist. I'm just gonna say one artist.
Okay.
And the one artist are gonna come together and they're gonna do a Fleetwood Mac tribute.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay.
And it's Haley Jane.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, Haley Jane. But then there's a couple more bands.
Yeah.
Oh,
that'll be awesome.
And that's happening on February 8th. The date's booked. The venue's booked. The show is booked.
Awesome.
So you get kind of an exclusive.
All right, exclusive. You heard it here first on Leveling Up.
If you don't know who Haley Jane is, go look. Her and Ryan Montbleu are doing some big stuff now with Hey Darling.
Love Ryan Montbleu.
Right.
Yeah, love Ryan Montbleu.
And they've got that Hey Darling thing.
Yeah,
and
it's
really
awesome.
Cool, and it's very creative and unique and very vaudevillian-ish.
Yeah,
you know?
I love them. Yeah, it'll be really cool.
So we're looking forward to that.
And in 3 years, you're also a finalist for our Business of the Year.
Oh my God, I know.
So that's so cool.
This blows my mind. It does, because first of all, I'm a little rough around the edges. Right? I'll be first to admit it.
We all are, Z.
Right?
Come on.
A little bit rougher than the other.
Some more than others, right?
But if you were to tell me maybe 10 years ago I'd be doing this in Business of the Year and stuff, I'd have been like, yeah, right. You know?
Yeah, right. Like you'd even be a chamber member, right?
Right.
Which we've talked about before.
And we're going to talk about that, actually. I want to talk about that because the Chamber is such a great organization and you've brought so many great people to our table. And I've met so many great people through the Chamber, and we definitely want to get into that.
Yeah.
But as far as the Business of the Year award goes, it just completely blows my mind.
Yeah.
You know, because Todd and I mean, we work our butts off around here, and to have that kind of recognition, it's very humbling, and I'm super excited for December 12th.
I'm excited for people to just get to know you guys a little bit more, and that's obviously another point of the show. Yes, I am excited. So talk a little bit about the Disruption Network. Todd's here. You have Chicken involved, and you guys have a ton of shows that you're doing. So just tell everybody a little bit about what it is you guys do. And I know we've struggled with this too because we're we call it a podcast, but it's really much more than that. We have the set, we do the video. We have all this whole. I mean. We've done a little behind the scenes here, but it's quite the operation. We have a green screen behind us. Z was breaking my.
Wait, the secrets.
Z was breaking my chops. He's like, I'm gonna wear green so nobody could see me.
No, that would have pissed off Todd. That would have made him mad.
But I mean, you guys it's such an impressive studio here. So tell us a little about like what Disruption Network is, what you guys do day to day.
Well, first off, a lot of the credit goes to Todd because he built all this. He did. He built the green screen area and the podcast studio, and he constantly evolving.
Yeah.
You know, some people want to call it changes. I call it evolving because what he does is he makes it better.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
Definitely.
what evolving is. And Todd is always on top of stuff with technology and just how the look could be better and how it could sound better and just what we can do. We're up to 11 shows and counting. In fact, we just had a meeting yesterday, which we're going to be launching another one.
That's awesome.
Which is going to be, I can't really get into what we're about to do.
We can't have 2 breaking news.
Yeah. But we launched 11 shows.
That's awesome.
In the last, in fact, it's just only been really a couple of years if you really want to think about it. Not even the third year. The first year was very, it was a growing process because when we first started Disruption, it was more internet radio based. And we had a couple other partners and we had a falling out with them and kind of broke off and started it as more of just a podcast webcasting type of thing, streamcast or however you want to call it, live cast. And then it gets broken down into a podcast later. We are on multiple platforms. So when we are live, we're not only live on Facebook, but we're live on YouTube and Twitch and Periscope and Twitter and Smashcast. And some of them I don't even know. I've never heard of them. But we're on all these other platforms, which is cool. And then, like I said, it's wrapped up into a podcast afterwards, which you could find all our content on like Google and Apple Play and Stitcher, Spotify. So we're pretty much wherever podcasts can be heard. But yeah, this is what we've created, this whole new media, if you will, and like the whole name, Disruption Network. We're disrupting the norm. Like, look at me, I like to cause a disruption, you know. And networking though, because we're networking with our local organizations, and we get behind a lot of charities, and we do a lot of work in the community, and then we do a bunch of different shows. And we have a bunch of different shows ranging from sports and hockey, football, pro wrestling, to the real estate, and what you're doing over here, what Heather's doing with the life coach.
I saw Heather's watching.
And then
Unstoppable You.
Yeah, go Heather. She's killing it. I'm so proud of her. She's another one that I'm so happy like we've associated with, and we've all joined forces together. Yeah. And then we've also joined forces with those lunatics from Syracuse, the Uncle Louie Variety Show, which those guys were on last night.
Yeah.
And,
a lot of fun.
They're so much fun.
One of the reasons we're not drinking UC today.
They're the
reason.
We're not drinking UC. Well, the reason why I'm not. You can go ahead. But we've created a great relationship with those guys, and they're all over the world with their comedy.
Yeah, that's
and they're
wild.
selling out venues of 500-600 seats. So they have really, really grown with another big high ceiling to go because they've only blown up for like the last year too.
That's awesome.
So and then we also have EC Radio, which you can find here every day at 3:00, and their football shows 3 and Out and the D Line and. So we have a lot of different content, and we're looking to grow more, of course. And if you have any kind of ideas or anything, just hit us up. And if you're an inspiring podcaster, if you want to do that, we also do video commercials, and we do marketing too, and audio commercials, and we do graphics. If you see the graphics on the thing right now, scrolling through. So if anybody's interested in any of that, let us know. So we're also an advertising firm as well, too. So there's just many different facets of the Disruption Network.
Yeah, and you guys have done a lot with the community, too. I mean, you mentioned that you've done a lot, but what are some examples? I know you guys have some great projects that you've done recently.
I'll tell you, the one I'm most proud of is the one I pretty much formed was the instrument drive we did this summer.
That was really cool.
We raised well over 150 different types of instruments too. I was thinking we would just get all guitars, but no, we got like horns and saxophones and.
Didn't you get a piano too?
No.
I thought you did for some reason. Or am I thinking of keyboards?
Thank God. No, they didn't want to. Keyboards. We had a bunch of keyboards. Yeah, for sure, a bunch of them.
That's awesome.
But I'm super proud of that because music is my background. It's where I grew up. It's my best friend. I grew up in music. My grandparents were musicians, and my dad was musicians, and so. It's music is me. It's part of my fabric. So raising those instruments to Proctor, which was my old high school. It was kind of cool to go there.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I went to a couple different high schools. I was a troubled youth. But the current principal at Proctor, I also went to Mount Markham with too.
Oh wow!
So it's kind of weird to like reconnect with him.
Yeah, full circle, right?
Plus, one of my best friends since I was 8 years old, Mike Lapola, works down there, and he's part of the video crew down at Proctor in the school district and stuff. So So have him there, it was really cool. And just
That's
looking
so
out in the
neat,
crowd and
yeah.
all the kids that got to skip school or skip their class to come hang out and play with the instruments a little
Yeah.
bit. It just warmed
That's
my
really
heart.
neat,
It
yeah.
was super cool. So we get behind that. The American Cancer Society we're really big
Yep.
with too. Real Men Wear Pink. We've done that a couple years. And this is the only year I didn't dye this pink.
Yeah, I know, you
Because,
usually do.
Well, Meg, and since we're on the topic of charities and stuff,
Yep.
I am thinking about donating my beard to charity.
You
Or the
should.
Smithsonian or something. This is another exclusive. I don't know.
Maybe the Oneida County Historical Society,
The
we can get like a
Historic
shadow
Society,
box.
Yeah, shadow box. There you go. We'll put in
We
some
have to like
time-
get it off in one whole piece and like figure out how to glue it on.
put in a time vault.
I'm not volunteering for that task, by the way, but maybe somebody else might.
But normally what I do is I'll dye it pink
Yeah.
and for breast cancer. But this year I'm thinking about cutting it and I'll do like an auction. But I
Yeah.
got to figure out a charity to put it up for. And I want to do
Yeah.
something new that we haven't done yet. Because we've gotten
Didn't think
behind a
about
lot of
that.
charities. We've done Toys for Tots
Yep.
and we've done the Veterans Outreach Center and a bunch of stuff. I can't
Yeah.
remember off the top of my head. And of course,
Well, I love that because you
Heart
guys.
Run and Walk, of course. We love Pam. And next year I want to get in Cycle Nation. I had
Yes,
Pam
Cycle
on last
Nation was
week
so much
and she was
fun.
talking about it. So.
Yeah, and you guys, and not only have you started this in 3 years, and have, like you said, continue to evolve it and improve it and make change. I know you don't like changes, but evolve what you're doing, and I
Right.
think that's awesome because you've also made it a point to get involved in the community, and a lot of people that's a missing link, and you definitely understand that and get what it means to promote everything that's going on here, and that's one of the things I love about working with you guys. And I was a guest on the show a couple times, and we kind of teased about starting the podcast with the chamber, but it's really worked out awesome. And
Can you believe it?
It's and you guys are and really, like I said, the setup here, I'm always so impressed. Like, I was talking with somebody about like everything that we have here, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, like it's a studio. We have cameras. Like we can go on location." And I mean, even when we did the show from Climb and we did it from the Cookout, I think like everybody's super impressed when they see what you guys have accomplished and what you're able to do and
Awesome.
stream live. And it's really like, I feel like people don't even believe it that we have the show and we have like everything that you guys put on here. It's really awesome.
Well,
so.
all of that goes to him, man.
Yeah.
All that goes to him, and I just I try to drive everything else.
Yeah. Todd's blushing over there.
We've made Yoda blush.
But yeah, when we started talking, when I came on the show, you guys had not joined the chamber yet, and I know we talked a little bit about it.
Yeah.
And then, you guys became a part of the chamber as a member, and we've really, I feel like, had an awesome connection bringing people in here and having people see what you do. And I think that that's really cool because you guys have made it, your priority to understand what the membership is and then take those connections one step further.
Indeed.
So I think that that's really awesome.
Awesome, yes. Back up a little bit, though, talking about getting involved in the community. I think it's important for everybody to get involved in your community, whether it's just picking up trash or getting involved with, like, local groups or maybe even tutoring or mentoring or
yeah.
bringing an old lady to the grocery store, something. Get involved in your community, people.
Yeah.
It's super important. I love Utica. I
Yeah.
do. I love this town. This stems far back as doing community events, working in radio and stuff, and then doing the Utica Music and Arts Fest that we used to do
Yes.
all throughout Utica. We had
Yeah.
30 different
Oh my
venues
God,
going
what a
at once
cool-
and stuff. So
It was a really great event.
It's important, and I'm always Heart Run and Walk super important, and we have to get involved.
Yeah.
You have to get involved with the community, or you're just going to sit around and be miserable.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is like Utica's on this comeback.
Yeah.
Like yesterday was announced $10 million downtown Utica, and the hospital's coming up, and like you could just feel the vibe in the area, and people are excited that
Yeah.
things are happening. And in my 40 plus years on this earth, I've never seen Utica in this kind of position ever. And people are actually got this sense of pride, and they're happy to be here. And hey, continue it. You know, positivity.
Well, and one of the other things is, working together. And I think like a lot of, at least I'm seeing a lot more collaboration happening right now than ever has before. And I think that's the most important thing is like, why are you in it? Like, why are you doing it? And that's something, we talked about Gary Vaynerchuk earlier and the Gary V podcast, which we both listen to, but one of the things that he was talking about was like volunteering in your community and like getting involved, and why do you care to do that? And I think you have to ask yourself, like why do you dial it back a little bit and think about like why you want to get involved and what you want to see happen, and the collaborations that are happening when people do that are awesome.
Yeah.
And I was in a meeting yesterday, and I'd sit there, I'd say it to myself all the time, so why are you in this? What are you doing it for? And it just kind of gives yourself that check of, okay, sometimes you have to regroup, and say like, all right, you start getting down a path and you have to check in and say, why do you love to do it?
Yeah.
And I think we both really want to see the community thrive and do well. And so you just have to collaborate to do it. And there's so much of that going on right now.
Right.
It's so cool to see. Like, I love that. I just think it's awesome.
I don't hear too much anymore is there's nothing to do, or I'm bored, or this place sucks.
Look at my calendar.
I've been hearing less and less of that,
Yeah.
which is good. So that means we're in the step in the right direction.
Yeah, that's really good.
I would like to back up too and talk about the chamber, though. A lot of people have this conception that the chamber is like this old, stuffy type of network, which couldn't be the furthest from the truth.
Yep.
Like these people here at the chamber are doing some great events. They have fun. They're very loose. It's a very, very fun atmosphere when you guys are putting events together.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And
we're working really hard to change that perception. So,
Yeah.
And this is a step in that direction, quite honestly.
Yeah,
with the podcast.
for
too.
sure. And it's not really so much of that. And I did it too. I was thinking, the chamber. It's probably all these 7-year-old blue-haired ladies. Don't even know what a
men.
podcast is.
We get the men usually.
Yeah. I'm pro woman. So anyway.
Well, it does make me laugh, though, because I'm the executive director. Our chair is a female.
Yeah.
Our vice chair is a female. And everybody's like, oh, it's the good old boys club. We're like, oh, okay. Well, half of our leadership is females under the age of 40.
Uh-huh.
I think.
That's awesome.
Around there. It's okay. We'll pretend we're all under the age of 40. But, really, it's not. It's a really funny optic that people say that, because it's like if you look at us and you actually pay attention, it's a lot of females.
I am surrounded by so many awesome females, powerful females in my life. I mean, from the girls at the Stanley, Lisa, Linda, and all them, to like you and Heather and everybody that's going on around here. My mom, of course,
Oh, of course, Mama Z.
My mom and Stacy Waterman.
Yes,
it's just like I am surrounded by some incredible women doing some powerful shit in the community and all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why, women are smarter. Yeah. It's true. It's true.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
It's true. It's 100% true. I'm sorry, but I know I probably pissed off a bunch of guys, but
that's okay.
Fight me.
That's all right. We'll let them be mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you guys came to the cookout, did the podcast, which was really cool. We're really trying to work to, I know you said you guys think that's a lot of fun, but we really have to get people out coming to our events so they also experience that. So we're really excited. We have a lot of changes that we're making next year that'll be really, I think, towards that direction.
How many memberships do you have now?
We have around 575.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot more opportunity out there too, but we always want people to get involved. And I love that you guys got involved and you're experiencing what I want you to experience and what we work so hard for you to experience.
Yeah. We're disrupting the chamber.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what's going on.
Exactly.
But in that too being said, I've met so many great people through chamber events, through networking, through just doing the leads and lattes.
Oh yeah, leads and lunch. Yep.
And just like communicating in that way, and then with the Business of the Year Awards coming up, and you got the Catalyst Christmas party coming up really soon too. There's so many great events coming up, and get involved. Like I said, come out and mingle. If you're a business owner and you're a little hesitant about getting involved with the Chamber of Commerce, come to one of these meetups. They're a lot of fun. They got DJs and they're drinking, and there's food, and there's always some kind of games and activities and nonsense going on. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You should have seen the cookout. Like they're having ice cream eating
contest,
and wheelbarrow races and all that stuff. So it was a lot of fun. And if you're a little hesitant about joining the Chamber of Commerce, if you're a small business, hit her up. It's really reasonable to be a member.
It is.
It really is. And just the mailing list alone is worth it.
Yeah, it is. And we're actually just approved yesterday by our board of directors as a whole new due structure, which we hope will get some more businesses some more exposure to. So we're really excited about that. And tomorrow night we have business after hours at MA Polsey. So they're an IT company. But they're in the business park, and they're going to have food catered by Swifties. If you've never had Swifties catering, it is so amazing. I mean, their food at the restaurant's amazing, but the catering,
better.
The catering is just, Dave and his staff do an amazing job at the catering, as well as at the restaurant. But you have to come check it out, because I think it shows a different side of Swifties, their catering that they do. It's just, they knock it out at the park. So Swifties will be doing the bar and the food, and it's $10 if you're a member. If you're not a member, it's $20. I mean, so look at it as you get drinks and food included, and you get to come out, and like you said, you have to take that step to get out and see what it's all about and network with your fellow businesses. Because, I mean, every business owner needs to know what else is going on in the business community, and it's just a way to get out, spend a couple hours with people, and it's fun.
Yeah, and network.
Yeah.
Network, get to know each other, and who knows, you guys can probably help each other out. One hand washes the other type of thing.
Exactly.
So Utica has always been that kind of mentality of helping each other out.
Yes. So you talked about the anniversary party. Anything else coming up that you want to talk about?
Oh, we got a lot of stuff coming up. Well, you know what, Meg? Let's talk about this, actually. I need to get to the bottom of this a little bit, and I would like to have your opinion on this. Mm-hmm. The Bahamas was destroyed by the hurricane.
Yeah.
And we were in the process of doing this hurricane bowling for the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Which shout out to my little nephew down in Florida, Josh, for coming up with the idea. Yeah. His class down in Port St. Lucie, Florida, did a bowling for the Bahamas event.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
like, God, that's something we should do up here. So I took that event, brought it up here.
That's right.
We're scheduled for December 1st. But now, after recent events, with our flooding that we had over here, I'm kind of like, oh man, we should be taking care of our own.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean,
right?
So we live in Whitesboro, and it's devastating to see. And these people, the one, I don't remember his name, but WKTV featured one gentleman on the news, and he said, what's really sad is it's become norm for them to be experiencing this. I mean, can you imagine? Like, think of your personal possessions. Like, just think about that for a second. I mean, Angela, who works for us, one of her friends had their entire foundation, like the house was literally sitting on, like, I don't even know what it was sitting on. It was unreal. Like, it's something that you would see on HGTV where they, like, jack up the house and fix the foundation, except for they weren't doing it intentionally. I mean, people have lost everything. And
look at Dodgeville.
At Dodgeville, yep.
It's totally...
I mean, people even in South Utica, I mean, some of these places are, some people experience it for the first time, but some people experience this time and time again, and we've got to do something about it. I told Ryan, I was so riled up. I'm like, okay, I need to, like, take a step back, because I'm going to end up, like, channeling my energy into some crazy thing. But, really, people locally do need help. So I think that would be awesome if you guys could do that.
I know, but then it's like, this is the third time I changed the event.
I know. But you know what? Sometimes things evolve, and
that's the thing too. And and don't get me wrong. I mean, I want to support everybody I could possibly can. I want to help as much as I can, especially down in the Bahamas too. But I think we got to take care of home first.
Yeah, I agree.
And so now I'm in the process of, like, I got to switch that around, and I got to change this, and maybe get new graphics, and set up a new event, and change the commercial around. So there's
but now
work
you've
that
already,
go into it.
People already know if they're listening to the show.
If they're listening to it, they know that we
that
we are doing this Bowling for the Bahamas event. So
December
1st, it's going to happen. Maybe we'll split it up. Some of the money will go to the Bahamas. Maybe some of the money will go locally.
Maybe you could do a portion.
We could do it that way.
That's a good idea.
I needed some advice on this, actually.
Yeah, you could. I think you could do a portion, but I think, don't be afraid to change stuff either. We talked about Gary Vee, and I was telling Z and Todd before the show, there was an episode, and they were talking about this guy was just thinking about starting a podcast, had to get his ducks in a row, and it's like, just do it. Like, sometimes you just have to do, and I forgot I'm going to screw up the phrase, action over something.
Words.
Yeah, but basically the whole point is, the gist of the phrase is, sometimes you just have to take action. Action over education, maybe it was. But, sometimes we get so hung up on, like, the road, the obstacles or the bumps in the road, and you just have to, like, take action and then worry about it later. Like, you don't learn and grow from not taking action.
You're right. Good point. And that's how I feel here at the D. It's like we're blazing our own path.
Yeah, you have to.
I mean, we've hit so many obstacles in 3 years, and we just continue to move past that and perseverance. And we move past adversity and boom, and here we are. And of course, there's going to be more obstacles in the future.
Always.
Because it's how life goes.
Yeah.
But it's all on how you handle those bumps and bruises.
Exactly.
And you just move forward, put your head down, and get your ass to work.
Exactly. You have to. I mean, and there's so many great opportunities, and especially in this day, like you said, new media, so many ways that you can really get your message out there, get content out there, and you guys have got a lot of those areas covered, and I think it's really cool to see. And like locally in Utica, like who would have thought we have a studio like this that pumps out 11 different podcasts? I mean, that's crazy. That's so cool.
To think. Big shout out to Frank Donato too, by the way. He's our landlord here.
Frank,
You know Frank,
yep,
right?
I know Frank,
He's a sweetheart of a man. I love him. It's not possible. The D's not possible without Frank.
Yeah.
He opened up the doors to us here, and we started in that little room over there. And we knocked out the walls in this room and turned it into what it is today.
That's awesome.
But big ups to Frank, and also Tom Moriel too, because Tom from the old Captain Trips, he old friend of mine. We did many shows together throughout the years, but Tom and Frank are best friends, and he kind of hooked it all up for us.
That's awesome.
And Frank is super supportive on everything we do, and now it's like I don't even apologize to him. I used to just constantly apologize to him for the stuff that we were doing around here, and now it's like, hey Frank, we're doing this. All right, see whatever you got.
Yeah. I just heard this the other day too. Instead of apologizing, you should say like thanks for your patience, or like thanks for whatever. It like kind of changes the dialogue, so maybe you could try that. Thanks for being so accommodating, Frank. Right.
I don't know how he puts up with us though, but he does, and he's a saint of a man, and we're very, very lucky to have him in our corner.
That's awesome. Anything else you want to plug before we wrap up?
What else?
Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, you can check out my podcast every day. Well, Monday through Thursday at 3 p.m. here on the D Disruption Network. It's kind of a rotating thing. I'm going to be making some changes probably in the beginning of the year. We have so many shows now that like my show has kind of taken a backseat to everybody else's, which I'm not complaining because I think it's great. I want to help with the growth. I want to help everybody succeed in all their podcasts. So my show, I haven't really put a lot of effort or energy into it at all. Just kind of like, hey man, can you join me on my podcast? And somebody will come in, which I'm very lucky that I have a Rolodex like that.
Yeah, as a sidebar, that gives a lot of people the opportunity to jump in.
Right, exactly. So I'm sticking more towards the behind the scenes things and doing the producing thing, and of course, I'm going to make a little bit of changes in the beginning of the year with EC Radio, and I'm thinking about making EC Radio strictly like a music podcast.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And then for like general information, I'll have another type of format. I had Z's company for a while, so I might do that for a minute and do that for like other content and use EC Radio strictly music.
Okay.
So that's something I'm thinking about. You're getting all these exclusives today, man.
I know.
What the heck?
God, that's
man. It's because I drink too much coffee.
I know. Well, maybe it's good that we're drinking coffee, not UC. I'm getting more out of you.
Yeah. Well, if I was drinking UCs, you'd be getting a lot more F-bombs out of me.
Probably out of us both, right?
Right. And that's not this kind of program.
No, it is not. No. It is not. This is a PG-ish.
G.
G.
Never even no P in front of the G. It's just G. Yeah.
So what else? Anything else you want to plug?
No, I just, keep in touch with us at disruptionnetwork.net. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm trying to get our YouTube numbers up. So if you can go over to our YouTube channel, subscribe to that, and follow us on Instagram and
people
Twitter.
can subscribe to the different shows on your YouTube too, right? Or is that just
no, they're
channel?
playlists.
Okay,
they're all playlists, so they're all different channels on. The D is the blanket, right, and then all the different.
So they'll get
playlists.
notified when any show is up.
They allow notifications for sure.
Awesome.
So
please go subscribe. You can get me, you can get Z, you can get Heather's show, all the 11 different shows.
Isn't it amazing, like technology and how it constantly changes, and like here we are. I had a flip phone 10 years ago, and now you can take pictures, and you can do a show on your phone.
Now we have like live streaming on his. Oh wait, we have people making comments. See,
it's probably all my mom.
Oh, it is your mom.
Is it? I can't see. That's the other thing. After
he's 40. The most giving person I know. Oh, that's
thanks,
so nice.
Todd, scroll up. There's more. I see a couple more.
Let's see. Oh, okay. Watching. Your mom was watching. Thank you.
Hi, Mom.
He's so sweet. Oh, that's her.
And then it's my cousin Annie. He's so sweet. Thank you, Annie.
Oh, that's so nice.
Good to hear it from everybody. Everybody out there in Facebook land, if you could do us a favor and click the share button, help spread the word of leveling up and the Disruption Network and all the great things we're doing here.
Yeah.
I got to say, though, you're killing it, Meg.
It's so much fun.
I'm so happy to have you. And you're so tailor-made for this. This is you. You're like the media girl. You were doing it with the brewery back in the day.
Yeah.
And now that what you're doing with everything you're doing at the chamber and stuff, and you're always in front of the camera. You're always on WKTV.
Yeah.
Every time I turn on, there you are on WKTV.
It's like I don't even know when I'm on. It used to be like you set the DVR. Like not to. It is kind of funny, right?
You just
like,
dated yourself.
I did date myself, but back in the day when like the brewery fire was really very sad time, but really that was when I got thrown in front of the camera a lot, and it was just kind of like had no choice, right? Like things were happening. It was wild. Like the math did not. They had a way more bigger fish to fry that night, and it was just really interesting. And Brian and I had this conversation not that long ago. He's like, well, why do you like doing it? I just really like doing it to talk about the things that are happening around here. And like, that's genuinely why we were talking earlier about like doing the selfie video, which I get so uncomfortable, by the way. Like Z will be like, oh, you got to do a video to promote the podcast. I'm like, I can't sit there with my phone and record myself, but I got to get out of my comfort zone, because that's really what it's all about.
Right.
Is promoting the area, promoting what we have going on, and promoting our members, which is the point of the show, right? To get our businesses out in front of you guys, or you listening to what they're about, so you make a more personal relationship with them and have people be more relatable. Because like I've said before, my feeling is people get to know you, get to know your company, they're going to be more loyal and want to know what's going on with you more, and that's really the point. And
that is the point.
Why we get in front of the camera when we don't feel like it, or when you're tired, or need more coffee.
Yeah, but when we click go, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
All time, and you're doing a great job, and your content's been top notch, and you've delivered some really, really cool stuff. I had Steve McMurray in here the other day.
Yeah.
That was super cool for us.
Yeah.
I love Steve. I think he's a great guy.
I know it was cool for you guys, and it was cool for me because that was his first podcast.
And that was his first time we popped his podcasting cherry. So how cool is that?
We've now gone to PG-13. There goes the G.
I didn't swear. But though
I love you, Z.
But you were talking too about changing and stuff like that. But you can't really grow as a person unless you have change.
Yeah, you do.
And experiences and like I tell my nephews and stuff like that too. It's like you got to travel and experience these things for you to grow as a human, and for you to grow as a person, and experiences in life like that.
Yeah.
So it's important to step outside your comfort zone
and
do things that you don't normally do.
Yeah.
Because it makes you a better person in the long run.
Yeah, and it started as a joke, and and here we are. Like I said, 10 episodes later. If you asked me if I would have had a podcast many years ago, I'd be like, "What?
What's a podcast?"
Yeah, what's that? Or how would you ever do that? I mean, and here we are, and it's been so much fun. And again, the level that you guys have here is it's top notch and so cool.
Well,
and I'm so proud to be a part of it, and can't wait for the December event. It's going to be a lot of fun to get, all of our finalists. I always say, people get focused on who's going to win, but the finalists get more promotion than the winners, really. It's like, if you win, you have the right to use it after the event, but up to the event. So if you haven't checked out our finalists, please go to our website, check out those 15 businesses, because they're so awesome. You guys are in such good company.
We don't even care about winning. Just to be nominated and to be thought of to be in that category it blows my mind that we are even in the top 3.
Yeah.
It does. It blows my mind.
It's so cool.
And we're so excited for December 12th at Twin Ponds.
No, it's at Hartillen.
I'm sorry.
Hartillen. No, Hartillen this year. We did the cookout at Twin Ponds.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we're at Hartillen. And I was telling Z before the show, if you guys are looking at this and going like, oh, another luncheon, it's not another luncheon. Trust me. We do a beer and wine sampling an hour before. We're hoping to actually have a really cool project that we're working on there as well, that'll be promoting downtown Utica and our whole region. So stay tuned for, I can't announce that yet, but we'll announce it on the show.
Cool.
So we're working on another project that we're hopefully going to have there as well. But we do beer and wine sampling from 11 to 12. The luncheon starts at noon, and it's much like an award show. We unveil all the winners on videos for each category. And there's no speeches or getting up. Some people get really I have to sit there and listen to people, and you don't know how long people are going to talk. We definitely keep that to a minimum because of the videos, and it's really cool.
I don't win.
Well, even if you do, we'll have edited your speech all the way down to a video. So, but it's a lot of fun. So if you haven't checked out any of our events, it's a great one to come to because it's really holiday. You know, we have holiday music playing during the networking, and it's just a really fun celebratory event to recognize all of these businesses. So
very cool.
It's a lot of fun.
We're super
I
excited
know you
to be
guys
a
are
part
going to
of
have
it.
fun.
Oh, I can't wait.
And I can't wait for you to leave that and say, now I like going to luncheons, right? Because you're going to, I promise you.
I love to eat.
You're going to have fun.
Can I ask you one question? And this is totally off subject. You brought it up earlier.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the brewery fire.
Yeah.
When was that? And how long were you working on the job when you had to go in front of the camera?
That was 2008.
Okay, so you were only there for like a year.
I was there a year.
Right.
It was the 10th anniversary of Saranac Thursday. Mm-hmm. And it was the opening night, actually.
Yeah,
I don't know if a lot of people like make that correlation, but you were probably in the tavern, actually. Were you?
Well,
we did a VIP thing. So it was the 10th anniversary. So we were planning like to have this big, it was a big PR thing. We were going to have the mayor do a proclamation. We were going to have all this stuff going on. And so we actually had like a lot of the elected officials and, a lot of close brewery family people up in the tavern. Mm-hmm. And we were just getting ready to go down. And I'm trying to think, I want to say it was Sunny. So, but it wasn't Mayor Palmieri. Let's see.
Tim Julian?
No, it would have been Mayor Palmieri because it was 2000. Yeah, if it was 2008, right?
No, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm almost positive it was
Rufaro.
Sunny, and he came in. And no, I'm almost positive. I could be wrong on this, but anyway, whoever was working for the mayor at the time came in and said, there's something going on out here. Like you better come outside. And so I walked down the steps, and simultaneously, Fred got a call on his cell phone, and he said, I'm going to go see what's going on. I'll meet you on the stage. And when I walked out of the side steps there, the ones that people like to go to the bathroom during Saranac Thursdays, it was like the bomb was playing, and people thought that it was actually like
part
dry ice. Like
yeah.
They thought it was part of the show, but smoke was starting to come onto the stage. And it was like we had to get everybody out of there immediately. So that was step number one, and they were dealing with the fire on the other side. But once we got everybody out, it was just kind of like, what's going on? And of course, the media was already there because, like I said, we had like this whole program plan where we were going to do a toast. We were going to have proclamations. So everybody was already down there and just nobody knew what was happening. And it became really scary really quick. Yeah. And that was just devastating and very scary. And Big Nick was actually on the thruway. He was coming back, so he wasn't even there. And really had he could see it getting off the thruway. He could see his brewery on fire, like getting off the thruway. I mean, it was just wild.
Yeah.
So that was 2008. Well,
08?
I believe it was because I started working there in 2007, and it was about a year after I was there.
Wow. That's a night that's etched in my brain.
Oh, my God. I can still smell it. I can smell everything about it, and it was just, we were there, I think we ended up leaving like around midnight, and it was, fairly under control, but they were putting it out.
Yeah. Well, they closed all of Eric Street down. Us bar owners, we all went to 12 North and got absolutely annihilated.
Yeah.
And we were singing, don't worry about a thing.
Oh, my God.
Every little thing gonna be all right. And it was. And it was. Everything was good. And look at all the positivity that came out of that fire, though.
A lot did. And that was the thing that, the Matts are wonderful people.
Absolutely.
And
love them.
have done so much for this community.
Absolutely.
But let me tell you, they did not skip a beat. I mean, it was the next day, everything's going to be okay. Like you said, everything's going to be all right. I mean, they really took it and used it as a catalyst to, make some real change. And I think that that's so cool. I mean, if you go down there now, and actually I was talking to somebody a couple weeks ago or recently that had no clue that even happened. I mean, they moved here after the fact, had no clue, because you would never know going down there now. I mean, look at all the expansions. They have the tank farm, they have the anaerobic digester, they have the new brewery, the new brew house that they just expanded. I mean, there's so much that they have done, but that project really was an opportunity to, that moment in time where it was very scary for them also was an opportunity, because they didn't just say, okay, they could have said, we're just going to close up shop and be done here. I mean, it was devastating.
It was.
And a lot of people don't realize the water damage was really a big part of the issue, because you have to remember, the fire, yes, was a big part of it, but the water going in and the water coming down through, I mean, they had tanks underwater with beer and all the product, and I mean, it was really just really devastating. A lot of people would have said, you know what, we're just going to throw in the towel, but they looked at it as an opportunity, and, it ended up being really phenomenal. So,
yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It's crazy on how such a negative situation turns into such an awesome, positive, outcome.
Seriously.
And that's definitely a prime example of that.
And everybody, talk about the street. I mean, people all the bar owners, restaurant owners, I mean, everybody was so supportive during that time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was so.
There's T-shirts made. And,
oh, God.
I remember, I think we had drink chips or something made with, or there was little chips going around with the brewery and Always Remember and Uncle Charlie and, stuff like that. So, yeah, there was really, a lot of support going on when that went down. And, it brought the community together for sure.
And that's how our community is, no matter what it is. And that's why I think, the bowling thing is so cool. I think you can make that happen. But, I mean, our community is always so supportive and so uplifting, especially in times, always, but especially in times of need. Yeah. So I think it's so cool and why it's so great to be living in Utica, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We're on the upswing. Keep shining, Utica.
Yeah.
The ceiling's really high. It is. Let's keep growing. Let's keep growing.
Yeah.
And enough of the negativity, and everybody needs to come together and compromise and get out there and do some positive things in your community.
Oh, that's right. Angela, I forgot. Angela was at the brewery at the time, too, who works for me at the chamber. Okay. She said she made the call to Nick.
She did?
Yeah,
oh, man,
I remember that.
A horrible call.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So it really ended up being a really, like we said, a cool catalyst to a lot of change. So that's wild. I forgot about that, Angela. All right, so I think we're going to wrap up, right? I know our time is out, but I've got the guy here who controls that, right? And Todd probably wants to get a cup of coffee, though, right, Todd?
He's got to go.
All right, so stay tuned, all the Disruption Network platforms to find out what's going to be coming up, and we'll look forward to that full announcement for February 8th, right, for the 3rd anniversary party. Coming up with us, I mentioned Business After Hours tomorrow night at MA Polsey, another great company in our area. So please come check out what they're all about. Again, the networking is a piece of it, but the other piece of it is getting in to see some of these businesses. Like you wouldn't ordinarily get an opportunity to check out an IT company like this. So please come check out MA Polsey. They do a great job for our community and have a lot of clients that they serve with their IT services. Ribbon cuttings. I mentioned that we had a couple happen recently. We have one coming up this Friday, the Neighborhoods at Acacia Village, a brand new expansion that they're doing. So our ribbon cuttings are always open to anybody to attend. So November 15th at 1 o'clock is the Neighborhoods at Acacia Village. November 20th, Hunt Real Estate is having their new location ribbon cutting. That's at 4:30. A lot of people know Tess Johnson out in the community that works for Hunt. She's a part of our Catalyst Steering Committee. And then November 21st at 10 a.m. we're going to be at Ramon's Bakery, which I'm really excited about. The Danolis are insane. If you haven't had one.
That's flavor country right there, people.
Oh, my God. It's even better than you'd think it would be. Like, I mean, it's so good. I just can't even explain how good it is.
What a great family, too. I've known the Zayas family for a long time. Absolutely hardworking people.
Yeah.
And in fact, Ramon was my neighbor at the EC when he had the bakery right next door.
Yeah, that's right.
For many years
yeah.
for Donato's Bakery. So much love to the Zayas family.
Yeah.
And that Danoli, so it's a cannoli.
It's a
deep fried cannoli is what it is. It's like
it's a donut.
It's a pizza frite wrapped in a cannoli.
Yeah, and then they actually fill it right there because you can't let it sit. So it's literally a donut in the shape of a cannoli shell. It's filled with cannoli filling, and the cannoli filling is so good. It's everything about it. You just have to have one.
It's flavor country, people.
If you're looking for an excuse to have one, November 21st at 10 a.m., you can come check out the ribbon cutting. And then I'm excited to announce my guest for the show right before Thanksgiving. So that Wednesday.
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please. Let's see. We had a drum roll for Z. We're going to try to do one for our next guest.
Nah, okay. I don't know where it is.
Sorry to my next guest. But so my next guest, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, at 1 p.m. is going to be Steve Karbowski.
Oh,
and
cool.
Steve is a funeral director at McGrath, Mislinski, Karbowski, and Nunn. So we're really excited to have Steve come in. So Steve also is a member of our Catalyst Young Professionals group, and he's involved in so many local organizations, Rotary, BNI. I mean, he does a ton in our community. So I'm super excited to have Steve come in and hear about how he got into the funeral director business. And I think it'll be a really great story. I've known Steve for many years, and we really are going to have a lot of fun. So make sure you tune in for that one. And I know we're going to have UCs at that one because we've already planned it out. We're going to have a lot of fun. We'll let you guys know what's going on if you're in town visiting for Thanksgiving weekend. There's a lot going on, so that'll be really cool. We'll let you know about some cool things happening too.
It's always a fun weekend in Utica.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving week. I love it.
It's great. It's people coming home, and you know what? I'm more excited this year than ever for people to come home for Thanksgiving because there's just so much happening, and I think like with the construction, it's going to be so visible to people coming in town that things are really happening in Utica.
Yeah, for sure.
So everybody's got to be on their A game, right?
Absolutely.
Be friendly. Greet people as if they were guests every day, but especially on that weekend. So.
Absolutely.
All right, Z.
You're killing it, Meg. Thank you so much for having me. This has been a lot of fun, and you got to come on my show really soon.
Yes,
too.
I do.
We need to make that happen really soon.
And again, you guys can check out the show anytime, Apple, Google Podcasts, the Chamber website, greateruticachamber.org, or disruptionnetwork.net. And I think that's all we have for today.
Can we high-five it out?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
We're
Thanks
out.
for joining us.
Thank you, Todd.